Is this thing working? Okay, everybody, I think we're going to get underway here. Hello all. Thank you for coming this evening, especially on a little bit of short notice. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Captain George Kuznetsov with the Major Crimes Division. On the stage with me here to my left is obviously Chief Brandon Davis. To my right is Lieutenant Sally Jenkins, and to her right is Detective Lane Maximus. Firstly, I want to start us off with some ground rules for this evening. I know everybody in here is a professional, and for the members of the public that are in here as well, we all need to treat each other with respect. Any outbursts are going to result in removal. We're not going to do any warnings for that, okay? Tonight's, will flow very similarly to the last few press conferences we've done. Chief Davis is going to make an announcement followed by myself. And there at the end will be an opportunity for members of the media to ask any questions. Chief Davis, if you'd like to start us off here.
Yeah. Did everybody hear me okay?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come down here. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am Chief Brandon Davis. I work for the Los Santos Police Department. We brought you here today, regretfully, to update you guys on a recent passing within the LSPD family. As you know, our officers put their lives on the line on a daily basis for the citizens of the city and in San Andreas, and sometimes we do lose officers along the way. Regretfully, Sergeant Brian Archer paid that sacrifice. He was gunned down in Legion Square by an individual last week. Archer had no family other than his brothers and sisters here on the force. We're going to continue in remembrance of him. I'm going to ask for a moment of silence to remember him and the ultimate sacrifice he made. All right, thank you all. I'm going to bring up Captain George again. He's going to explain the details of the investigation and subsequently what happened in the 24 hours after Archer's passing. You guys can relay any questions to him.
Thank you, Chief. Again, just to add to that, Sergeant Archer was an amazing person, friend, and colleague to so many in the LSPD family, and to so many in law enforcement. I'm very proud to call him my brother, and he will be missed. Okay. As Chief Davis said, I'm here to inform members of the media and the public that, of course, on the evening of August 4th, 2021, Brian Archer was murdered in Legion Square, in the area of Legion Square, at approximately 23:30 Eastern Time. Upon discovering the scene, members of the Major Crimes Division invoked its investigative mandate and began working with the LSPD and BCSO to bring those responsible to justice. Utilizing investigative skills and forensic evidence left on scene, we were able to identify a prime suspect. Later the following day, a search warrant was executed on the suspect's home. That suspect was found on scene of his home and was subsequently brought in for questioning. The suspect's name is Blaine Fantana. Through the course of the interrogation, significant facts were uncovered that led to the probable cause to lay the charge against Blaine Fantana. Fantana was then presented the evidence against him, and with counsel present, he made the determination to plead guilty to one count of second-degree murder. He was also charged with some other offenses involved in the execution of the search warrant, but today we'll just talk about the second-degree murder. Justice Elizabeth Williams was contacted to conduct an impromptu sentencing hearing, and I can announce for members of the public and the media that Blaine Fantana was sentenced to life imprisonment.
So sorry.
At this point, the investigation is concluded. The suspect has obviously pled guilty and is serving his life sentence in Bolingbrook. With that out of the way, we're going to open up the floor to questions from members of the media. Members of the public, we ask that you allow your media colleagues to ask the bulk of the questions here. If you could start off, just name who the question is directed at and ask the question. If anybody has anything, they can go ahead.
Travis Ray, CNT. What was the call that Sergeant Archer was responding to when he was gunned down?
Sergeant Archer was off duty at the time of the incident occurring.
Okay. Also, one follow-up question. What was the reason for a delay of a week before informing the press of this?
It was mainly it hasn't actually been a week yet, but mainly it was trying to coordinate everybody's schedule so that we could all be present. In order to get the facts out, we have to make sure we're all here.
Thank you.
So, Ramsey Thompson, CNT, what was the motive behind the attack?
At this point, the motive was seemingly... It's difficult to put into words. It doesn't seem to be a long-standing, some sort of feud or anything of that nature. At this point in time, the motive is difficult to determine. But that's really all I have in regards to that one.
Was Sergeant... Travis Ray, CNT again. Was Sergeant Archer wearing his police uniform at the time, or was he in civilian clothing?
To the best of my understanding, he was in civilian clothing.
Michael Warner, Weasel News. Does the suspect does the convict rather have any history with the department? Do you know?
Mr. Fantana has a very extensive criminal history of showing extreme violence towards law enforcement. Yes, he does have a significant criminal history. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Again, thank you all for coming this evening. We appreciate you being here. There is going to be a public funeral held for Sergeant Archer. I think we are eyeballing sometime this week, maybe moving later on to the week into the weekend. But an announcement will be made to all members of the public to attend and lay Sergeant Archer to rest. So thank you all for coming this evening. Be safe and have a good night.